you have a question for Jay?
Jay, my question is, in a nutshell, is hyperdimensional alchemy, as you stated, in capturing dew to form the positive energy similar to yin and yang energy as described in Ni Kung practitioners like John Chang?
Yeah, it is, and you're just, what happens is that in the Kali Yuga, you're getting too much of the earth energy. The magnetic fields are collapsing, and we're falling further down into the densification of matter, and so we have to artificially prop up the positive energy, which is being decreased in this time period through alchemy, but you know, it will come back. It's just an affectation of this age, and that's really what the yugas are: is the diminishment of the positive etheric force, which is a natural progression of the magnetic cycle.
Jay, I have a follow-up. Do you really need to capture the dew that way in regards to, can you also breathe in this positive or sky force energy, or take it in through other means, like sun gazing? In fact, is the positive or sky force coming from space somewhere, or or as I suspect, does it come from the sun?
Well, it comes from the sun, you're right. And yeah, you can do those things, and you should do those things. These people, the Archons telling you not to go out in the sun, I mean, that's about the most insane thing in the world. Go out in the sun. I love the sun, and the sun's giving off this sky force. And breathe, yeah, sure, there's people who, you know, could probably not have to do anything but breathe, like breatharians. I think, you know, there's a million ways. And once you understand it, then you're on the path to understanding it completely, and this is the great secret. And that's it. And what's funny is that we lose the knowledge of the sky force commensurately as we fall into the densification of the magnetic field and the Kali Yuga and the Mayan calendar. All of it's happening, you know, and so we've lost touch with this knowledge in such a profound way that it's going to take almost a miracle to get people to reprogram themselves.
Thank you, Jay. Jerry, I believe you have some questions for Jay.
Yes, these are forum questions from Rathburn. Was there a deliberate misdirection in alchemy with gold, mercury, and lead?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say it was deliberate to fool the people who are only interested in money, to kind of sort them out right at the beginning. So they're all off putting mercury into vials, and then their brains are turned into Swiss cheese, and they walk around drooling, which is probably what they deserve. And so, yeah, I think so. But also, there's qualities of the particles which do have those qualities. So, you know, it's a little of both, probably.
All right. Another question from Rathburn. Do you or anyone you know tried the method of gathering dew that you outlined?
Oh, yeah. I can't name names. I'm the only fool.
Okay. And do you see this as a necessary step in our Sophia's evolution?
Yeah, that's what this is. Alchemy is the, like I said, synonymous with philosopher. Philosopher straight out means he who loves Sophia, and alchemists, that's their religion. They love Sophia. They're learning her mysteries, and through learning her mysteries and realizing her mysteries and understanding her mysteries, she understands her own mysteries and her own self, and then she can give birth to these things so that they're easier for us to get. So it's a symbiotic relationship that we have with Sophia, and it is the original religion. It's the original science. There was no difference between the religion and the science once. Now that's all been lost.
Thank you, Jay. Uranus rising, do you have a question for Jay?
Yes, I do, Jay. Hi, how are you? You wrote in one of your articles, solving the Archon problem may very well be the test, the final test of humanity. Can you define the Archon problem and how to solve it? And also, where do you think the Archons are right now, and what do you think they're up to?
Whoa. They're busy. Very, very busy. Must be sucking off a lot of chi, too. I hope they're enjoying their little orgy. I hope it's over soon. No, the Archons are, they're beings who are alien in that they occupy the other planets in the solar system, and they're when Sophia created us, there was like a splash of this creative intelligence, and some of it splashed away and created shells that looked like they were intelligent but lacked the creative essence of the Sophionic intelligence that created the earth. And so they're jealous of us, and they seek to remove us from our humanness. They seek to turn us into them, kind of soulless entities that feed off of deviant sexual and war and murder and they're trying to transmute the race into them, and it helps both to keep us in a state of fear so that they can feed off that chi, which is their main gravy, and then they when we die, we're so terrified of death that we fall right into the trap that they've laid for us at the end of the life, because the religions themselves are archonic. All of the Abrahamic religions are archonic, and they were created by the archons. And we're at the very edge. I'm just going to let that ring. We're at the very edge of the final war of the differing archon tribes as they get prepared to do their orgy of murder and death, which I believe is about to start. And you know, I don't know what we can do. So the archons, they've wiped out all the people that have ever talked about archons have been murdered in history, and it's been a systemic murdering. And Weidner's first law is those ideas which are the most repressed are probably the closest to the truth. And so when I look and I see that the Gnostics, who spoke quite eloquently of the archons, were wiped off the face of the earth, then I know there's something there. I'm a journalist. I used to track down murders and things. I know, I have a good nose. I know there's something there. There wouldn't be that kind of backlash. And then when I look at the writings of the Gnostics, like Marcus Aurelius, who was an emperor of Rome, you can see that these people believed that there were these archons. And it's a profound idea, and it helps explain a lot of things.
It certainly does, Jay. Thank you. I have one more follow-up question on that. I heard you say in one of your lectures that they're probably only around during the Iron Age, and I'm curious as to how you see that and why.
Well, I mean, the Aryan is iron, okay? Aryan and iron have come from the same root word, and they're the people of the iron, or the people that only emerge in the Iron Age, and they are getting out of here. They're leaving, and they know about the periodic catastrophe, and they've just come here to just kind of suck the energy off the planet and have a nice time. And then when they need to go, they go. and they leave, and then they'll come back later. And this is the continuous wounding that Sophia has been put under by these beings, and it can't be allowed. They can't be allowed to survive the catastrophe and come back to bring more of their nightmare to the earth. And that's their intentions. Or maybe they're leaving now that they've discovered planets, in other solar systems. Maybe they're leaving and going off to other solar systems too. I think they're doing all of it. I think they're highly advanced. I think they've back engineered things that they found out in the solar system. I think that they fall into a lull when they first get here, and they go out and they have sex with women, and they have raids, but they don't really care about the human race. And it's not really until the Iron Age that the Archons really emerge from their hiding place and start manipulating the entire planet.
Thanks, Jay. Jay, you talk a lot about the Aryans, also called the Archons, which are humanoids predominantly. Throughout history, there have been stories of tall Nordic humans with blonde hair, vampires with white skin, and incredible abilities that are like these Aryans. But there's also a tradition of reptilian creatures, as in many of the monuments in London, and as per the stories in many African tribes, like the Dogon tribe, and such as Credo Mutwa, which David Icke talks about. Firstly, what is your understanding of the reptilians, and if you believe of their existence, how do they fit in with your model of the Aryans controlling the world, or at least before the Aryans bugged out to Mars?
Yeah, that's a great question. Dave and Ike and I got in a long discussion about that a couple of years ago. It's a good question. I'm sure that the Aryans, Archons, are the reptilians. Now, do they transmorg into reptiles? I don't think so. I think what happens is that there might be something about them, their skin, at their advanced age and through their lack of sunlight and everything, which may cause it to scale. And so when you meet one of these tall guys with their incredibly blue eyes and their white skin, and they may have this kind of reptilian look about them, and that may be what has started the reptile thing. Now here's the thing: the reptile is also the symbol of the Kundalini, so we have to be careful what we're saying here. Just because the Archons might be fostering a myth that the reptile is something to be shunned and to be afraid of, and if certainly the reptile mindset is something you don't want to live under in your life, but it's also causing people to be afraid of the philosophies that teach how to release the Kundalini and